Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever CAC Softball Preseason Webcast. I'm Assistant Commissioner Tim Maurer. This webcast will take a look at each of the 8 conference coaches discussing their outlook for the upcoming year, followed by the release of the first ever preseason poll. The CAC welcomes 3 new members to the softball diamond this spring, as Christopher Newport, Penn State Harrisburg, and Southern Virginia will each compete in the conference for the first time. Defending champion Salisbury seeks its 18th straight CAC crown and will look to return to the College World Series for the 2nd straight year. Now let's take a look at each team entering the 2014 season.
Really, our goals and expectations are fairly simple. It's just to really progress, get better each day. When it comes game time, play each game like it's a championship game. Just really go out there, compete, and try to be better than the team in the opposite dugout from us. And really keep things simple that way. Obviously most teams, if not all, that we're going to be competing against, their goals are to win a national championship. And we don't really hide that as our expectations. We talk about it early, and we don't really talk about it as we get into our season. It's just really focus on each game, focus on our preparation for those games, and hopefully we win the last game of the year. Really, our key losses are in the pitching circle and behind the plate catching. Two areas we don't want to really lose too much. We've been in that same situation before, and back in 2011. We were relying on sophomore pitchers, and we actually had our best season and best finish, making it to the national championship game with that group. So I'm not too concerned with that. It's tough to lose leadership and seniority, but I think with the talent that we have coming back, we did have two freshman pitchers last year with that senior group who gained a ton of experience with them, and we're really looking at some big things with them this year. They know that the ball's in their hand, and they're ready for that to be put on their shoulders. Our offense, I think, has the chances of being probably the best 1 through 9 lineup that we've ever had here. Very good balance. We can score many ways. We've got good speed, high on base, strong power in the middle of the lineup. We're returning basically 8 out of our lineup from last year's team. So we do have a good group, and of course, them being in our lineup, they're in the field for us defensively, and I think we'll be very strong there and very experienced for our young pitching. So we have the ability to, to be able to make some plays behind them, take some pressure off them that way, know that they can just make pitches. And, if they do have a little bit of a rocky outing, that we have the ability to put some runs on the board to support them that way also. I think our newcomers have already made a positive impact. Very hard workers, meshed into the team dynamic very, very well. We do have some good talent that are going to probably step in and be key, or going to have to step in and be key contributors for us. Michaela Jenkins as a freshman pitcher. That we've got, as far as our position players, they're still kind of battling at some positions and kind of figure out how all that's going to unfold over the course of the year. But I think we've got some key newcomers that are going to definitely contribute for us this year and make major impacts for us. Out of conference this year, we've definitely are going to be playing in 2 very good tournaments and matched up against some pretty good teams in those tournaments. We always try to play the toughest schedule that we can put together, hands down, and that's really my main goal and what we're looking at doing. Sometimes depending on who you're matched up in those tournaments, definitely can, go one way or another, but I think our tournaments, our competition within those tournaments are very strong and are going to be very demanding during those weekends. Beyond that, we're playing some of the better teams in this region, so it's definitely going to be some strong tests as we go through the course of the season. And once we get into conference play, conference is getting better. The Capital, I'm not going to really single out any teams, because it's hard to really tell. It's kind of uncharted territory. Salisbury, Mary Washington, we play them on an annual basis, so we really are familiar with them, and pretty much have to be prepared as possible facing the newer teams that we have to go up against this year in the Capital. definitely looking forward to it. Different challenge, and it's going to be I think really a dogfight when it comes down to it at the end. And I don't think you can always take last year, at least in my mind, as momentum going into the following year because it's so far distanced, especially when we're trying to just really focus on each game, each day in practice and just trying to get as prepared and, definitely as prepared as possible with our quality of reps that we take, mentally and physically. And we don't really talk about yesterday too much. We don't talk about last season. We don't talk about our first game. We're talking about what we can do to get better as a team right now. Yeah, definitely weather has played. As far as our preparation, it's we're outdoor sports, so we have to kind of roll with the punches a little bit. And we've got great indoor facilities. We've got a great field that drains well. We're actually able to get on there yesterday, after some rain and after the snow that we've had, and get a much more productive practice than I even thought we would have been able to. So we just go with what we can each day, just try to make the most of it. And we understand that every other team is in the same boat right now that we're going to be playing against. They're dealing with the same weather issues, and we just have to prepare better.
Our goals and expectations are always the same, to win the CAC and then make the NCAA tournament. We've been in the finals for the last 3 seasons, and we're expecting to make it over the hump this year. We lost 4 seniors who played quite a big role. Taylor Vandergriff was a 3rd-team All-American last year, started in center field every game, was our leadoff hitter. Sherry Beavers was our leading hitter last year, she'll be tough to replace, was our starting shortstop. Carrie O'Malley was our starting second baseman for the last 2 years, best second baseman we've ever had, especially defensively. And then Megan Buston, our catcher. So we lost everyone up the middle, so it'll be tough to replace those pieces. Obviously, it's always nice to pencil in Caitlin Lovin's name in a lineup. If she doesn't hold every offensive record already after 3 years, she certainly will after this year. She's hit over 400, I think, every year she's been here. A real big dominant offensive force. Marianne Moore won 20 games last year as a freshman. Expect her to do fairly well, at least in the circle this year. She will also get a little bit of time out in the outfield. Bailey Ellsworth's back. She's our fastest player, so it's nice to have that at the top of our lineup. And Renee Abel is back. She had, I think she finished 4th in the country last year in home runs. Hit 16, so our expectations for all those guys are pretty big still. 3 freshmen will just start off right off the bat. Hannah Tavick will see some time in the circle and in the middle infield somewhere. She'll be playing somewhere. Her bat will be needed to replace some of what's lost from Sherry and Taylor. Emily Zengel and Megan Tracy are middle infielders, so they'll be battling out with some returners to be starters. And then a local product, Savannah Hose, is coming from Pot State. We'll definitely add some speed and some power to the lineup. So, well, obviously adding Christopher Newport this year makes us a better conference. They're a top 10 program nationally. It'll give us some more credence. It'll make it tougher for us, but we like the challenge. Out of conference, we've got several schools, Washington, Randolph-Macon, Rowan, early on in the season, who were in the NCAA tournament the last couple of years. Will give us a good idea, hopefully, of where we stand early on.
basically what everyone else wants. We want to get into that conference championship game. We worked hard in the off season, so one of our goals is to get into that conference championship game, and obviously once we get in it, we want to do some damage there as well. Last year we lost a starting catcher, Kerry Busby, conference player, all conference player. We lost a second baseman, Alyssa Hare. We lost the starting center fielder, and we also lost one of our top pitchers, Annie Blaine. So we're going to miss them sorely, but hopefully the returning players can pick up where they've left off and even go beyond that, and some new players are coming as well. Oh, I'm excited about the key returners. We'll start with the infield first. We have Brianna behind the plate. We have Hannah Ottoman on the mound. We have Ashton, who was a backup pitcher last year, returning. We have Brittany Seitz at third. We have Barit Chitty at shortstop. Alex Tenney is expected to be at second base. And Emily Briggs is expected to be at first base. So we're really excited about the infield. Outfield will include Hannah Williams, Taylor Bass coming back from an injury, Stephanie, Lindsay. We're expecting big things from all of our returners. New additions, I'm really excited about them. All of those players are expected to contribute almost immediately. Behind the plate, we have a very strong catcher in Olivia Tatara. We have Grace Henry, who can play second or first for us. We have Zoe Patrick, who can play shortstop and second, but most likely will be at shortstop for us. We have Laura Phoebus, who can give us some time at third. We also have Erica Fave, who is returning, another turning player who is going to give us some time at third as well. Outfield will include Kate Chisholm, who's expected to do some time in left field. So we're really excited about our incoming class. Hannah Ottoman is our returning #1 pitcher, and we're expecting huge things from her this year. She did great for us last year. She did great for us her freshman year, and we're expecting that her junior year will continue with the success she had in the past. Well, the non-conference schedule is tough in itself. Every team that's a non-conference, every team that will play will have been considered for the national tournament. So our non-conference schedule is quite competitive. Conference schedule, top to bottom, it's going to be tough. Salisbury has been there for a while. CNU is coming into the conference. We're expecting that they're going to contribute immediately. York is looking good this year. Wesley is looking good this year. Hopefully, Mary Wash will be there. And Frostburg is always there annually. I mean, they've been tough. They've given us a hard time in the tournament. So we're expecting big things from everybody. It's going to be quite competitive. Well, one of the things that having one sport allowed me to do is to focus primarily on softball. Not only physically, but mentally as well. The kids today, I believe, they need that attention. They crave that attention. They want to do well. They want to have a coach that's around. So I've enjoyed being around in the fall, helping them, develop them, and hopefully that's going to put us a little bit ahead, more so than in the past. So I'm looking forward to it. So far, it's been great.
Team's goal every year is to make it to the postseason, and this year isn't any different. How we measure up in the CAC is a big question mark in our minds, but we're taking the approach that we're focusing on a lot of short-term goals to accomplish the big end-of-season goal, which is to make postseason. We did lose 2 seniors in Kara Boyd and Danielle Ringel, but we do have a nice group returning, and I feel that it's our core group that is returning, so I think we're going to be ready to go. We do have a really good core group of returners coming back. We have several all-conference players. Rookie of the Year for the Southern Division is returning. 3 of our 4 captains have returned, so we're looking to them for leadership. We have a very good group of incoming freshmen this year, along with some sophomore transfers and junior transfers, and I feel that they'll all have an immediate impact on the field and in the lineup. I think we have a very challenging schedule this year. I hope that our non-conference prepares us for the challenging CAC schedule, and we'll see how we measure up.
Our goals for this season are to go back to the national championship and win it. I mean, there's no question that's our driving goal every year, and I think that's what keeps us motivated at every practice. Well, you know, we try not to look back, but certainly when you lose the National Catcher of the Year, that's a big loss, and probably Michelle's quiet leadership was outstanding. But that whole senior class, I mean, Chelsea Brooks, an outstanding young woman, didn't get a lot of playing time her senior year, but what she did off the field for us and what she did at practice every day motivated everyone. So Chelsea's also a big loss. Sure-handed Carly at second. Great defensive player, and she had a wonderful World Series run. Lindsay out in the outfield. I'm going to leave someone else. Lindsay up at bat. You know, two really nice sticks and great competitors. And then certainly Hannah at shortstop. You know, big bat, great defense. So, well, yeah, we do. We have a lot of key losses. There's no question about that. Well, you know what? We do return our leadoff hitter, Harley Hill, and we call her Smooth. And there's a reason for that if you watch that swing. So I'm really happy to have Harley back. She's anchoring our infield. And then we'll return Paige Knussman, who did a little bit of DP for us, a little bit of third base, and certainly was the quintessential pinch hitter. She rose to the occasion. I think she had 6 straight pinch hits at one point in the season. Great hitter, so she returns for us. Angelia McDowell in the outfield, Angela Malgieri in the outfield, Molly Gigioli, they all return. And then behind the plate we'll have Becca Huey, Virginia Walther, so a lot of great people doing that. And then of course our pitching staff, when you take a look at Kat Larson, who I think are going to surprise a few people, she's gotten a lot better, and Rachel Johnson, you know, she was first team All-American, and she looks in pretty good form too. Yeah, you know, we had a tremendously large roster last year, and there was a reason for that. You know, I kind of looked ahead and said, well, what are we going to do once we lose those 7 seniors? And we groomed them, maybe that's the wrong term, but we really practiced them hard. And while they didn't get much game time, they got tremendous practice time and knowledge from those seniors that were leaving. So you're looking at Kim Dorsey, who right now is looking awesome in the infield. It's just a question of where is she going to play and what her bat speed. She's revved it up. She's gotten stronger in the weight room, certainly more confident, and so she's swinging the bat very well. We have Molly Simpson, who really last year was a great learning experience for her. She comes in with a lot more confidence this year, another great stick, pretty sure-handed fielder. Alexis Pay, who is going to hit some bombs for us this year. The girl has awesome bat speed. So we haven't missed a whole lot with who we have coming back. You know, and I'm leaving a couple kids out, but I think they're the 3 that you're going to go, wow. Where they were sitting on the bench last year, and I'm going to say, yeah, and they were pretty good at it. And then, of course, Becca Huey. She has not gotten much time being behind Michelle Gravdahl for 2 years, and she looks like the veteran she is. She is playing like a junior. It's had great on-field experience. She really brings a lot to the team, does a great job framing pitches and calling pitches. We better be ready because it is tough. I think we start off with Newman, who was in the regionals last year, when we're down at Rocky Mount, and then on to Raleigh. You know, we play Roanoke down there. So and I'm going to leave somebody, William Peace, the host, and North Carolina Wesleyan, another one of the hosts. great start for us. It doesn't get any easier when we go to Virginia Wesleyan, and then you jump into our conference schedule. Of course, we've got 3 new teams into it, one of them an old foe in CNU, and the battles between Salisbury and CNU have almost epic in nature in the softball world. They've been so good. So our CAC schedule, you have Mary Washington, they bring back their pitching staff. Frostburg had an outstanding young pitcher and some great bats in that lineup, and they return. I foresee York, with now their coaches had another year to get them ready. They should be a tough team, and Wesley was pretty young. So they're the teams I know about, and Penn State, Harrisburg, and Southern Virginia, kind of unknowns to us, Salisbury. But before we play them, we'll have a pretty good background on them. Well, hopefully when we get into conference tournament time, then off to regional time, it gives them that inner calm. I've been here. Yep, it's a big game, but we need to play it like the next game. And I'm hoping that experience just gives them the confidence that you're always looking for in your team when they come up in difficult situations. And so, unless you've been there, it's hard to explain to people. It's just such a dynamic experience, and I think 10 years from now, 15 years now, 20 years from now, they may not remember individual plays or the games, but they'll remember the great experience they had from being at the national championship. And not everyone gets to say that, and we're really proud that we've represented the CAC in a great way, and we're at the national championship. So let's hope that helps us get back this year.
Our goals this year as a team, as we step out on the stage of D3 ball, is just to come out and do our best defensively to make sure that we're making plays quickly and efficiently, and to shut down some of the teams that have already been here and have already made their statement, especially in the CAC. We're also expecting our young ladies to step forth and really step their game up at the plate and to execute the things they're asked to do, and to move runners and to cross that plate and really get us on the scoreboard more often than we have in the past. We have lost our pitching staff. We had Kenzie Mackey graduate and move on to a mission for our church, as well as Annie Biggs, who is also serving a mission for our church, and our starting catcher for the past two years has left to be on a mission. There'll be 2 of those ladies will come back soon, but we definitely feel their loss this year. It's an interesting dynamic we have here, but we're really grateful for the quality of girls we get and their willingness to step on the field and work together as a team, as well as step out into the world and serve. So we're grateful for those players and all they've done. We have some excellent freshmen who have really stepped up. We're really excited for Kenzie Packard. She has great range in the outfield and is really basically shutting our outfield down. It's going to be very hard to get anything past her, and she works really well with the other outfielders there with her. We also have Kelsey Bear, who comes to us as a middle infielder, and she is got a fantastic bat as well as Kenzie, and those 2 are great to have. In addition, all of our girls, very impressed with how they're coming together as a team. But those are the 2 new standouts that I really enjoy working with. We work really, really hard. These girls. Right now we're in 2-a-days, and they're putting forth a lot of time in the weight room, as well as doing lots of reps, hitting, and making sure that their communication is perfect with the players who they have adjacent to them. And they're working hard, they're in shape. They're coming out with fantastic throws and on target, and again, most importantly, the fact that our communication is really settling in and we're coming together as a team is a huge blessing for us. Well, first of all, we're really excited to be stepping into the CAC and excited to play some really top-notch teams. For us, it's not necessarily a challenge, but it's an open invitation to play our best game, and so we're really excited for that. We also will be playing some teams from the ODAC. Again, really quality teams that will only elevate our play, and we're looking forward to these teams and to continue to play our type of game and make our mark as well.
Goals for the season are to just improve every single day, and just to continue to compete at the highest level that we can. I think with the incomers that we have and the returners, that with the dedication and the talent, that we can really do some great things. Key returners, well, we have 3 captains. Ashley Benderovich, Morgan Seymour, Kayla Frommel, who are really going to provide some leadership for us. Steph Karakoza is really going to hold down the outfield for us. She's our only all-conference returner from last year, hit .412. So she's really going to be a bright spot for us in the outfield. In the middle infield, Bree Hartman is just incredibly solid defensively and is really going to do a great job. And back to Kayla, who is just the ultimate utility player and is going to provide a lot of depth for us in a number of areas. Graduation did lose us 2 players, but I think our biggest loss isn't necessarily to graduation, it's to an injury to Allison Crakey, who was our shortstop. And we're working really hard with a number of kids to really fill that spot, and we've got a lot of depth this year, so I think that's something that we can fill in. We have an incredibly young team. We return 7 players that were starters, 6 of which were sophomores, and very youthful, learning from our mistakes of last year, know what it takes now to win in the conference, to win out of the conference. And we've got a really talented group of freshmen who are coming in that I think are really going to allow us to develop and get to that next level. Some real immediate impacts for us are going to be behind the plate. I think that Nina Marcano is really going to provide us with some depth behind the dish and really control our pitching staff, which leads to Lily Engel, one of our top incoming freshman pitchers, and Lindsay Schock, who's also going to be one of our top 2 pitchers. So incredibly youthful, and I think we have the deepest pitching staff that Wesley has had in recent memory. Our non-conference schedule is going to provide us with the confidence to win, but it also provides us with a few teams that are really going to prepare us for the CAC. We play Virginia Wesleyan and Penn State Altoona, who both qualified for the NCAA tournament last year. I think that's really going to, give us a good look at where we're at and where we need to be. And the CAC is, one of the best conferences in the Mid-Atlantic region. Playing the best of the best and players and coaches, and so we're really looking forward to that. We are taking 2 trips. We're going down to Virginia Wesleyan's Beach Blast tournament. Many of the teams in the conference play in that to prepare themselves, so I felt like that was a necessary event for us to attend in order to just really get ready to play in this conference. And we do also always go down to the Fast Pitch Dream Spring Classic down in Myrtle Beach, which is, a ton of fun for the kids, but it's also a great place for us to just really tweak some things and figure things out and build some confidence that's going to allow us to really be successful and win.
Looking into the 2014 season, I think our goals are simple, realistic, and attainable. Our program is one in transition with a change in culture, philosophy, and a very young roster. Our goals for the season are to expand on growth witnessed in the fall non-traditional season, as well as to improve on our win-loss record from the spring. Focus is simplistic with the approach that we will work hard, train hard, play smart, with heart and determination, need to be aggressive on the base paths, increase our offensive production, and execute defensively. We need to make outs outs. As a coaching staff, we're looking to develop cohesiveness among this very young team and motivate them to have the desire to get 1% better each day. Our team expectations are that by controlling the controllables, which are attitude and effort, maximizing our strengths and improving on our weaknesses, preparing ourselves physically and mentally, that'll give us the best opportunity to be competitive in every game. And lastly, we'll continue our focus on academic success as we look to maintain our team GPA of 3.0 or higher. Our key returners into the 2014 season, if you look at the roster, we have 9 returners comprised of just 1 senior, Alyssa Molino, 4 juniors, and 4 sophomores. Sarah Thacker returns as a junior for us, who spent a majority of her time at first base in the spring, but she'll be experiencing a transition this year to be a leader for us on the mound. Morgan Levine returns for us on the mound as a sophomore this year. We also have Peyton Hill, who earned first-team All-CAC honors as our designated player, returning to the team as a sophomore. We look for her to continue with her success in this role. When I look at the makeup of our current roster, over 50% of our roster is comprised of newcomers. We have 9 freshmen and a transfer, so anticipation is prevalent that some of these newcomers will make a significant impact this season. As previously stated, we are a program in transition, and determination of position players has yet to be made. As we embark on the beginning of our spring season next week, it'll prove to be a dynamic and highly competitive environment for all members of the 2014 Spartan softball squad. At the onset of competition, our goal is to have a design where the best players are put on the field that we as a coaching staff feel give us the best opportunity to succeed. Looking at the schedule, I was very diligent and purposeful with my preparation for our non-conference schedule this year. With intention, our non-conference schedule is conducive to keeping my student-athletes in the classroom as much as possible, as academic remains our first priority here at York College. In addition to ensuring a travel-friendly schedule, significant effort was made to ensure a competitive non-conference game schedule remained intact. In regard to the CAC conference play, we're looking forward to the addition of Christopher Newport University, Southern Virginia University, and Penn State Harrisburg. These additional members, I'm sure, will enhance an already competitive conference structure. We're eager to get started.
The softball season opens up on Saturday, February 22nd, as Salisbury takes on Newman and North Carolina Wesleyan, while Christopher Newport travels to Virginia Wesleyan. CAC regular season play begins on Saturday, March 22nd, with the playoffs set to begin on Thursday, April 17th, concluding with the championship round on Saturday, April 19th. Log on to cacsports.com to find out more. For the Capital Athletic Conference, I'm Tim Maurer. Thanks for tuning in to the CAC Softball Preseason Webcast.